Once upon a time, Hollywood created heroes people believed in. Luke Skywalker, Indiana Jones, Ellen Ripley, Neo, Morpheus, Tony Stark, icons who became legends. But today, something feels off. Movie after movie is flopping. Audiences are tuning out. Franchises once beloved are now mocked. Why? Because Hollywood has fallen into a dangerous trap, replacing beloved characters with race swaps, gender swaps, and forced diversity instead of compelling storytelling. And the worst part? They think if you don't like it, you're the problem. Let's break down exactly what's going wrong and why audiences are rejecting modern Hollywood like never before. Section 1. Famous Failures. What everyone noticed. Let's start with the movies that made everyone stop and say, "What the hell is happening?" Ghostbusters 2016. One of the first major gender-swapped reboots. Instead of continuing the original story or honoring its legacy, Sony rebooted the franchise with an all-female cast. Critics were divided, fans were furious, and the movie flopped financially, earning $229 million on a $144 million budget, with marketing pushing losses even higher. The Little Mermaid 2023. Halle Bailey's casting as Ariel sparked massive controversy. Disney claimed racism was the only reason for backlash. But many fans argued it wasn't about race, it was about abandoning the source material for ideological reasons. The film struggled globally, barely scraping a profit due to high costs, especially in international markets where nostalgia sells. Snow White 2025. Rachel Zegler, cast as Snow White, publicly criticized the original story, calling it weird and outdated. Instead of seven dwarfs, the remake features a mixed group of magical people, and Snow White no longer needs a prince. The movie has already faced massive backlash and delays before release. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny 2023. Once a cultural titan, the franchise ended with Indy being upstaged and mocked by Helena Shaw, a new female Indiana Jones played by Phoebe Waller-Bridge. Critics panned the story, fans rejected the tone, and Disney lost over $100 million on the film. Cleopatra 2023 Netflix series. Netflix cast black actress Adele James as the iconic Egyptian queen, a move that Egyptian historians and audiences called a historical falsification. The show received the lowest ratings in Netflix documentary history. Section 2. Where it started. Hollywood's shift. These trends didn't come out of nowhere. They trace back to the 2010 era, when Hollywood began actively pushing for representation over resonance. The movement gained traction after the success of Wonder Woman and Black Panther. These were diverse films done well, with strong storytelling and organic characters. Studios misread the situation. They thought diversity alone was the secret. Instead of writing new characters, they started altering old ones. Why? Because nostalgia sells. It's easier to sell a reboot than a new IP. But reboots with radical changes became virtue signals instead of entertainment. And when fans pushed back, Hollywood called them toxic, racist, sexist, or stuck in the past. Section 3. Identity over integrity. Let's be clear. Diverse casts are not the problem. The problem is shallow diversity. For example, Doctor Who made the Doctor female with Jodie Whittaker. Ratings plummeted. Velma on HBO Max race swapped all the main characters and attacked its own fan base. It became one of the worst reviewed shows of all time. Marvel's Phase 4 introduced forced replacements like female Thor, Jane Foster, female Hawkeye, Kate Bishop, and Ironheart, all while sidelining the original heroes. In many of these stories, the new leads aren't just different, they're better than the originals, without earning it. There's no struggle, no arc, no humility, just instant competence and constant lectures. Characters like Rey from Star Wars are perfect from the start. No training, no failures. She just knows how to use the Force, pilot ships, and defeat villains. It feels hollow, and fans know it. Section 4. Financial Fallout. Hollywood isn't just losing fans, it's losing money. The Marvels, 2023, one of the worst performing MCU films ever. Elemental, 2023, another Disney flop, failing to connect with audiences. Lightyear, 2022, a Toy Story spin-off that ditched beloved character dynamics for a more progressive story and bombed. Strange World, 2022, introduced Disney's first openly gay teen lead in a heavily marketed story and lost nearly $200 million. Audiences aren't rejecting inclusion. They're rejecting lazy storytelling masquerading as inclusion. People don't go to movies to be lectured. They go to be entertained. Section 5. The Fan Backlash. On YouTube, Reddit, TikTok, and Twitter, fans are fighting back. Creators like The Critical Drinker, Nerdrotic, and Geeks Plus Gamers have grown massive followings by calling out what they call woke Hollywood. These channels didn't create the backlash. They captured it. When Rachel Zegler insulted the original Snow White, YouTube was flooded with videos dissecting her interviews. When the Marvels flopped, fans were quick to point out Brie Larson's tone-deaf marketing and the forced team-up of three underdeveloped characters. The more studios gaslight their audiences, the more fans walk away. So what's the real reason behind this Hollywood collapse? Section 6. The core problem. Ideology over art. It's not just gender swaps. It's not just race swaps. It's that studios are putting ideology over art. They're afraid to offend anyone, so characters become bland. They push representation without crafting real personalities. They rewrite history to fit current narratives. They lecture instead of entertain. It's not progressive, it's patronizing. People want stories that reflect humanity, not just identity. Hollywood needs to wake up. Great stories come from character, conflict, and connection, not checklists. The answer isn't to stop telling diverse stories. The answer is to tell better ones. Let fans love what they love. Let heroes be heroes. Let characters struggle, fail, grow, and earn their place. Because until Hollywood puts story before agenda, movies will keep falling, fans will keep leaving, and the magic of cinema will keep fading. But maybe, just maybe, it's not too late. If anyone in Hollywood is listening, it's time to stop preaching and start storytelling.